thing. Oh, crab baskets. We're not even streaming the right thing. Whoopsies. We are looking at from the top here. Press F10, I think. Oh, it's F5. I don't remember what it is. All right, F5, and then I go to OBS. We change the stream to be PowerPoint. Nope. That's what we're looking for. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen on Discord so you guys can take a look at this real quick here. Yeah, we're good to go here. No intro necessary, folks. I'm gonna start the stage real quick so that way I can mark it. I'm not gonna notify everyone. Tower of Talks, season 2, episode 7. We'll start the stage. Awesome. So, welcome everyone. It's your host Kirby Rocket. We got Abby Arias, of course, the local toucan, taking on the backseat. We got everything sorted here. Sorry for the little bit of delays that we had here, but we are back in it. So, we're going to talk about a couple things today. Thankfully, for Tower Unite's sake, there's one update. Oh, we didn't update that slide. We didn't update that slide, but it's it's not a Kirby Rocket event. It can totally get fixed. Hold on. Let me just go back in the stream, and then I'm gonna share my screen again. It's a bug roundup, I think. It's such a weird... It's weird, but whatever. Okay. So if I look at that here, on the agenda we've got Tower Unite version 1.1.3.0, which is the bug fix roundup update, the one that took 3 months to come out. We have VRChat 2026.1.2, and we got 2026 1.3 beta 1814, or which in this case it is avatar accessories, which is a big thing. In the meantime, we also got the game events as well as talking about TU official events, TU community events, which there aren't a lot of community events, I can tell you that much. VRChat official events, VRChat community events, and of course the Tower Hub Discord events as well. And of course, we're always going to talk about our triumphs, Tower triumphs, you know, any wins, positive things, cool things, anything can happen since October. Or not October, whew, but you can't go that far back if you want to. But we're going to come back here. We'll start off with the game updates brought to you by the twos as truly. So, we got a couple things to talk about. I'm not gonna lie to you, there's not a whole lot that's different from the last episode that we did in January 2026, for episode 6 in particular. So, interactions in the Condo Hub are disabled for 18 plus Condo, which is awesome. In Virus, the Enraged Infected no longer occurs in Horde mode, which was bullshit that it was the case. In Virus, after losing a match in Horde mode, you'll get a 70% reduction in payout rather than a whole, 100% reduction. You basically just said, hey, thanks for playing, here's 200 units, sucks to suck, buddy. That's no longer the case. I think if they rewarded you based on how many kills you got, it would be... Really? That's fucked up. It was like 200 units, yeah. That's fucked up. Either way, it's supposedly better. It's what we know. We just know it's probably better. Emote camera offset no longer applies while in a seat. So if you're sitting down, if let's say you use vibing, your camera's not gonna push your whole camera down. Plaza optimization, the railing in the casino geometry was overhauled, optimized the mesh and greenhouse LODs. And of course, they merged all decorative vases and the cat cafe into their wall mesh, so that way the vases don't look out of place. General Game World bug fixes. They fixed multiple gameplay bugs, including gun game issues, dinosaur behavior, weapon glitches, spawning problems, and incorrect announcements. And mind you, the spawning problem is as best as they could. It's not fully fixed. It is just, going to happen less often. Now, Virus had some bugs, and they fixed some bugs as well and they added the collider to prevent trapping, not prevarent. Prevarent. I know they meant prevent. Ball race fixed material regression on the bumpers in Prism, which was an interesting bug that had existed for a couple updates now. Condo bug fixes, they fix interaction, lighting, collision, and material issues across condos. Sorry, talking about Terry Knight does get me yawn a little bit here. But item bug fixes include things like various physics, collisions, visual, and item-related issues. Coloring material fixes as well as multiple media shells fixes. I don't know what happened there, but we do know something happened as well. Plaza bug fixes did fix... Yeah, I haven't seen any myself either, but I also haven't been playing myself, so I can't relate. Plaza bug fixes, which fix underwater effects, material, and minor visual issues. Next up here, we got the new items, which is probably the more interesting portion of it. We got Central Circle with a commercial laundry washer, Rob's Imports, which includes detergent, whitening powder, dryer sheets, bleach, scattered laundry, the small and large cart, as well as a basket. In Songbirds, you can find the Boombox, deluxe Boombox. One of them is holdable, by the way. Cassette recorder, and the new feature, which is it's not new. It's like now streamlined. The Internet Radio Audio Stream system is now available on other devices and not just the carnivorous plant. So it's not just added because it was cool. It's not fucking new. It's not new. It's been there since October of last year. So, I'm not gonna pretend like it's new. It is just enabled on every other device, every other media player, which is cool. In DIY, you can find the vent ducts for the small and large, and of course you got the toy stop with the pool cube, the gridiron football. So for American football, if you want to have it, go ahead and do that. You got that, and the one that's tossable. So if you toss it with somebody and they're in the proximity of it, they can catch it and then throw it too. Pretty cool. Next up here with VRChat 2026 1.2, onto the VRChat section of this here. We have, of course, Discord friends, meaning that if you link your Discord account with your VRChat account, you can go ahead and send invites from VRChat to VRChat through Discord. Allow me to explain. Let's say I'm inviting Aviarius to join me in Fishing Friday, and he's not on VRChat. But if he has his Discord account linked, if I send him an invite on VRChat, he'll get a message on Discord saying, hey, hop on VRChat.gif, except there's no GIF, it's just an invite. When you click that invite, it'll launch VRChat in the preferred platform that you have it on, and more importantly, you'll be able to go ahead and access the entire invite. Get an invite sent to you, and you'll be able to go do everything. It's pretty cool. If you have friends on Discord that don't use VRChat, you can invite them to join VRChat from the VRChat menu as well. And should it be that if you need to find your VRChat friends from your Discord friends, you can do that. Though there is an option to be hidden and have your Discord account not be public and tied with your VRChat account. Do keep that in mind. Privacy is a very important policy with them, so you can do that as well. Next up here, speaking of one of their greatest updates, which is helpful for Fishing Fridays, which we will talk about in a moment here, the easier instance with group linking. You can now link an event to the group instance after creating it. So let's take, for example, you create an instance, right? You create a group, nothing crazy, and you're like, hey, I want to run Fishing Friday. I forgot to create an instance tied to that VRChat group. No worries, I can create it. I can tie it to an event after I've created the instance when I'm logging on for the first time. It's streamlined, it's easy, and it doesn't need multiple prepping for that. It's very cool, very awesome. A lot of cool things there. Last but not least, inventory cosmetic random selections as they were teased in January 2025, or 2026, sorry, wrong year. This is now available to the public. You can go ahead and use it. If you want to drop a portal, you have multiple portal types. You don't know what, you want to just random, try it again. If you want to have like just a random list of portals that are going to drop down, sure. Which one are we going to get? Are we going to get some sort of lucky portal? Are we going to get a ring of fire? Or are we going to get something else? Whatever the case may be, you'll find out when you get that portal dropped with the inventory cosmetic random selection here. Next up here, I don't usually talk about the betas for VR chat, but I think this one's really cool, especially because of the way that this is going here. You know, VR chat 2026 1.3 beta 1814 or build 1814 in this case introduces avatar accessories. Now, if you guys were there in the previous episode where we talked about custom items, avatar accessories in this case are adjacent to the items that we're adding, right? Think about it. You know, you can have presets, you can have multiple of the same accessories. For now, right now, it's going to be started with the VR chat developers who are mostly making it. But in the future, community creators will be able to build their own accessories later. And specifically trusted community creators that they've selected as well. And they're already working on things. So take, for example, let's say you have a live event like, I don't know, VCAT, Virtual Market. And they want to create a accessory that you can have, whether it be like some sort of camera thing, or maybe some glasses. Something cool, like a little commemorative item. You can do that with the power of that VR chat accessory. The avatar accessory is universal on any avatar, and when you apply it, it will by default be attached to the bone that makes the most sense. Now, if there isn't a bone that makes sense, or in particular you want to customize it, you can. Let's take, for example, with these googly eyes. You could put these googly eyes wherever you want it, quite frankly. What you could do with that, I'll leave that to your imagination. But you can have multiple of that same type. I believe you can have up to 9 avatar accessories at a time. It's very cool, very awesome. And what this means is that this is the next step towards user-generated content with both items and accessories all to work together. It's a really big thing. I'm actually really excited about this, especially since, you know, if someone says, ooh, I want this thing, I want this asset, but I don't want to spike the performance of my avatar, I think that's a good thing, because this is, for the first time, another step in the right direction for this to be a profitable company for the first time in years. Okay, those are all that we have in terms of updates. You know, a lot happened on the VR chat side for the last 2 months, but for game events, we got a couple more things here. I'm going to talk about, of course, the shop refreshes that are going on with VR chat. And, of course, we do got to talk about the VR chat awards because they did get delayed. But we will talk about the stuff for April. We're not going beyond the month of April. But let's start with Tower Unite here. On the official event side, as you guys know, currently it is the 22nd of March. Tomorrow and every Monday going forward, you do have Bowling EXP, 1.5 units, and of course experience, so if you want to go ahead and do that. The vote closes for the March Condo Contest tomorrow, so if you haven't, go ahead and take a look at that. Feel free to check over the Pixeltail Discord for more information. On Tuesdays, of course, you've got your Trivia Tuesdays, or Trivia Pursuit of Knowledge. It's going to be happening on those Tuesdays all the way through the end of the month. 1.5 units will be given out to anyone who participates, whether you win or lose. It doesn't matter here. But with that Wednesday, you've got, of course, Double Fishing XP going throughout each and every Wednesday, even and bleeding into April here. Now, laser tag, however, in this case, you got that Laser Blazer Thursday happening from the 12th, 19th, 26th, and the 2nd as well. Oh man, excuse me. And then finally, of course, on the weekends, we got our weekend events as per usual. You got right now, currently today is the last day on Virus Weekend. So if you want some easy money playing Virus, especially with the new changes that were made on Horde mode, you can go ahead and hop on Virus there. Alternatively, if Virus is not your kind of zombie shooter, you can go ahead and check out Zombie Massacre Weekend, which is happening on the 27th through the 29th. That'll give you 1.5 units, and, well, heaven knows how much money you'll make playing Zombie Massacre, so definitely go ahead and check it out. It's definitely a good time if you want to go ahead and get some more monies, and if you just want to build something cool in your condo, or if you just want to gamble all your money away, whatever the case may be, that's the place to make the most bang for your buck here. And, of course, ending the month, or begin in the first weekend of the month of April will be, English. it will be double tickets. So that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, in terms of community events, I'm going to be real with you. I haven't made a calendar in 2 months. Realistically, I have not made a calendar in 2 months because of the fact that there have not been that many events. But until now, the Miku Expo and Tower Unite team has now presented Teto Expo in Tower Unite, which is announced 20 hours ago as of this show. So April 1st, 2026 at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Megaman's Condo. You can celebrate Kasane Teto's birthday with the fellow Teto Joyous with the special concert games and more. It is the first version of this in the tower. The first time they're doing anything Teto related. So if you guys want to check that out, feel free to take a look at the Pixeltail forums. Plus, if you're watching in the VOD, please check out the Pixeltail forums. I don't think I have it linked in the description, but I can get it later. Alternatively, I will go ahead here actually real quick. For those who are watching in the Discord real quick, I will also show you in the side chat. So if you're looking in the live Tower Hub Talks channel real quick, the same place you would type if you have any sort of triumphs, I'm going to go ahead and post it right there. Here we go. That is now in the side chat right now, so if you want to go check that out, please feel free to. Tell them Tower Hub, tell them that you found it because of Tower Hub, because this is it's definitely good traction, and more importantly, we should be able to get it. We love being able to say, hey, this is how we found about our events. Next up here, VRChat official events. We got a couple things here. Both of these will be expiring on April 1st. Also, it is the first time we're getting a third party, a major studio collab with VRChat. We have had other studio collabs. For example, we've had Rivals of Aether had a collab with VRChat with stuff in the item shop and in the marketplace, but those were permanent items, not temporary items. I'm not talking about them mostly only because that you can go ahead and take a look at them at any given point, and they happen in a month that I wasn't really here for. But nonetheless, it's something really cool. It's really awesome, and we should be able to go ahead and go through this. So take a look at this. VRChat shop refresh. I'm going to go change my screen so you guys can take a look at this here. And then, I'm going to change it so that way instead of showing the PowerPoint itself, I'm going to show the monitor itself. And then we'll work from here. Hold on, let me make sure I'm getting this sorted. Awesome, okay.
A very lucky shop update. How lucky? Well, why don't you head through the festival gate and see for yourself. The first item? It's the Good Fortune coin. Flip it. You put a horse on it. We heard everyone loves horses. Also, it's the year of those four-legged friends. Speaking of four legs, you know what else has four legs? Firecrackers, because of the fuses. Well, there's more than four and... Okay, whatever. Look, they explode. Use them to scare your friends, or any beasts from last year. Not enough noise? There's also the pellet drum. Give it a spin. That's a lot of noise for such a small drum. What else? What about a lucky lantern? With this, you'll appear or disappear into a swirling display of floating lanterns. A little extra luck for, whoever you're joining. But wait, there's more. As always, we have our premium emoji bundle, including the Sky Lantern and Zodiac Horse. And, of course, we got a few stickers up too. VRCat's Lucky Surprise features VRCat receiving a red envelope. Also, Celebratory VRCat featuring him and a hanbok. And one more, a Vietnamese Dut sticker, perfect for bringing good fortune to whatever world you're visiting. Want it all? Grab yourself a bundle of good fortune, which includes everything mentioned here. All this content will be in the store until April 1st at 1 p.m. Pacific time.
There you go. That's all the stuff for the year of the horse here. Let's talk about the stuff for the Rabbids Takeover, which is the one that really got my attention.
It's me, Straz. Content? No, this isn't content. This is news. We're on the scene in the VRChat homeworld, where we're getting reports of strange alien creatures appearing in VRChat. Wait, what's that? Is that one now? Wait, what are those? Ouch! We're getting reports. They're everywhere. Ah! It seems that the Rabbids are using the ARP effect to spawn into Super VR Ball. They're playing? Trying to? I'm not sure. Is that a fly swatter? They're beginning to understand. Oh, and they found the plunger. These guys even found the shopping cart. They've even created 4 of their own premium stickers, but they seem to be struggling to figure out whose sticker is best. Wait a second. I feel like I've seen this before. Are they learning our culture? They're using the new emoji pack. Well, it seems they've fully acclimated now, and... Wait, what's this? I'm getting word that they're selling stuff on the shop, including avatars of themselves? Okay, I guess. But wait, I'm getting word that all of their creations will be in the shop until April 1st. Until then, you'll be able to buy all of their strange gizmos, or you can grab the VR Chat Rabbids bundle and get everything. But once they leave, it'll all be gone. I mean, provided we can get them to leave. Oh, ouch! Can we get them out of here sooner?
And there you go, that's the VR Chat Rabbids crossover real quick here. I am gonna go ahead and change the screen real quick here. Change a couple things here. Make sure that this audio is proper. Okay, so I just noticed that the audio was messed up on screen, but that's okay. We're moving on. All right. Next up, in terms of VR Chat community events, things that we've got going, we've got, of course, the VR Chat community, the VR Community Awards 2025. These will be hosted in April 26th. They were unfortunately pushed back from last week's showing due to the unfortunate nature of, well, a VR Chat outage. So that happened. But that's okay. It happens. Outages will happen. There's not much we can do about that, but what we can do is show up for the second time, as well as Fishing Friday. If you haven't checked out the Fish World in VR Chat and you do play VR Chat, I would go ahead and check it out. Seriously, it's a lot of fun. You know, think of like Stardew Valley fishing, but instead that's the entire focus of the game, and well, you get to do a lot of upgrades, and it's kind of like if you ever played Roblox, specifically on the fishing instance. I don't remember what it's called because I don't actually play Roblox. But it's definitely, it's a lot like that. It's a lot of fun. You know, you can collect all the fish. There's actually a St. Patrick's Day event going on in that world right now. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, please, please, please do. It's an awesome time. That being said, it's time for my favorite section of the show. We got Tower Triumphs. And it wins positive things, just nice things that happen overall. This is the place to share it here. Shit, I've got a lot to talk about this month. Abby, you got a lot to talk about this month too, don't you?
Kinda actually. I got at least one that I especially can say that's a huge triumph. It was a bittersweet victory. Bittersweet triumph, because after that I was completely down for not technically mentally as well, but physically especially. I was completely down for like 1 to 2 days. Not only me, but the whole team of programmers were completely down after that. We had to take a break for like 2 days.
Tell us what happened.
It was about an exam. Well, technically it's more of a project work, which we not only had to like completely finish it up, but also made a presentation for it. And the amount of stuff that you had to program, it wasn't just like you create a program and that's it, but you also have to do it as a cloud service. That means you have to make the program into a cloud that is like online for 24/7, and all of this from ground up. Like we had to figure out what we wanted to do. After that, we had to make a structure of how we want to do it. Then came the first presentation, which wasn't as bad. It's just like the first like a test which of what you want to do, how you want to create it. After that, it was just like work and much more work. And it wasn't just like one we had like in the first semester we had like four projects. We had 4 projects which we had which needed to be done. So it was much more time consuming than we really wanted to. Anyway, this project was like had the most kind of work that needs to be done. So I think like a week, like 1 week before the presentation, we had like 1 week time to make the like no, it wasn't 1 week. It was like 2-3 days before the presentation. We also had to make a presentation real quick since we didn't finish up all the things from the deadline. So we finished up what we can and then wrote the presentation real quick, and it was exhausting. I think I got only 2 hours of sleep for that day. So after 2 hours, I just woke up. Yeah, it was also very early, so I had to go there very, very early. And if you come in late, like 1 hour, technically, if you came in 1 hour late, you wouldn't pass the whole subject. You would have had done that the next year then. But some people had like, I think some people came in late for like 20 to 30 minutes, which they got a second chance for it, and they passed it. So in short, everyone passed it. We passed it as well. We didn't had like so many criticism, unlike the other ones, but we knew that we could have done better. But the thing is, we were exhausted, but also happy that we didn't fail it, because we had some doubts of if we would have passed it or not, because there were some stuff that were missing. And it also was like with your presentation, such as that something wasn't right and something got messed up. But the whole cloud programming was fine in the end. So it wasn't that bad, but it was, in the end, it was completely exhausting. I just went home. I just went immediately home after that, because I couldn't keep myself up for very long after the 2 hours of sleep. I think I took a nap for 4 to 5 hours later on, and then we talked about of our grades and all the other stuff for a short amount of time. But yeah, it was a huge triumph, because that was one of the I wouldn't say difficult, but I would say it's like the most work you had to put in.
It was kind of like a final in a way.
Complete. What?
It was kind of like a final exam in a way.
No, I think no. The final exam. You mean like yeah, no, it wasn't like the final exam. It was more like I would say similar to real life work, because you have a deadline, you have to create the program, and you have to show the program towards the customer. That's the similar way of what to do. And yeah, but there are many things that I think that is a triumph. First of all, it's the knowledge of software engineering. It's not just like programming, which most people would assume, but also you have to make a full architecture of it. You have to learn multiple programs of how they work, how to do like you have to get used to the new programs. You have to get into new lines of work which you have never done before. That's the first thing, and the second thing was the second thing of the triumph was just that we have passed the test of it. But it's not similar to the last exam, because the last exam would be much more difficult, I think. Like the thesis would be extremely more not extremely difficult, but it would be you need to spend more time to make it good. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the triumph that I personally think, which was last month. Yeah, last month was for me it was a huge triumph for that. So that's what I'm absolutely happy about. I was exhausted, but I also was very happy to have done it, including some other exams that I have passed. Some I didn't have. Some of them I didn't have passed because of the times the of the deadline that was we didn't reach the deadline for that, so we asked the professor to change the change to a new appointment for to a new deadline for that. And we wanted to make sure that we didn't pass the first one, but that we got to pass the second one, and he allowed us that. So that's another triumph, I'd say. It's not a big one, sort of like a loss, but we at least can continue to work for that in peace. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do with my other team for that.
Yeah, no, I fucking love that for you, dude. I'm glad that I'm glad that thankfully you passed the exam. So generally speaking, it wasn't too complicated. Even though it felt like it was. Oh, excuse me, man. My fatigue is catching up with me. But no, I'm glad that it went well for you. Generally speaking. I know for me, I got a couple things, which honestly, my triumph is related to something I forgot to announce, folks. I'm gonna announce this real quick during triumph section, cause why not? How do I say this? PAX East is coming up. We're gonna do the meetup again. I'm actually taking a look at the poll real quick. If you have not filled out that poll, definitely go ahead and do it. One of my favorite things that I love doing with these meetups is that I love giving away stuff. So we're giving away the Web Fishing Cat plush as well, and I'm excited to give that away. So definitely check out that the link that's in the event tab here on Discord. Definitely go ahead and take a look at that. But no, one of my triumphs in particular is I'm excited to go to Boston again. I really am. I love going to PAX East. I love meeting with you guys. I love meeting with the community. I love being at the convention. I love all the cool things. Nintendo's gonna be at PAX East for the first time in 3 years. Now, I'm not the biggest Nintendo person, despite my name being Kirby Rocket for the last 16 years of my life. But I do love what they have to offer sometimes. Like when they brought Kirby Air Riders, oh, that was awesome. I love that. That was great. One of the things that I'm really excited for, generally speaking, in the last couple of months, it's not my triumph, but I live with them, so it's kind of cool. Partner got a new job, so I found that really cool. You know, I'm not paying everything by myself, which is awesome. I love that.
Nice.
The other thing... What's another thing that's really good? I got a bonus at work. That was pretty cool. I got more monies.
Oh.
I got more monies.
You got more... But hey, if you get more money, you know who to share with, right?
No. Let's call Uncle Sam. That's who I'm sharing it with. Because he's making me share it. I ain't sharing it with Toucan Sam, just Uncle Sam. And there ain't no Uncle Toucan Sam either.
Well, two can work it out.
Two can work out your taxes. Speaking of, I gotta go do my taxes.
Exactly.
I had another W somewhere on this midst here. Oh, I went to Washington, D.C. for the first time. That was really cool. Got to go to the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History. It was definitely on the bucket list of some people in my home. So I'm very glad that we got to go ahead and take a look at that. Though we weren't in D.C. for the best reasons. We ended up
How's Washington, D.C.?
It's actually pretty nice. I would not live there, personally. But it's nice. I like this.
Many people don't recommend to live there.
Well,
right?
I mean, I was downtown. I was staying in a hotel downtown. So, nothing's gonna happen in downtown DC. Now, if I left downtown, I don't know what's gonna happen. But, I was comfortable enough to say, yeah, excuse me, this is nice. And I enjoyed it. I really did. you know, it was different, it was unique, and I really was happy with the way it was. But
I
yeah.
thought you.
Hmm?
I thought you already went to Washington D.C.
I did. I'm talking about how I went there, and it was really fun.
No, you said you were there for the first time.
Yeah, it was there for the first time. I had the opportunity of going in 5th grade for what is known as the safety patrols, which is funny because when I went there, I saw the exact same type of group that I would have been in if I was in 5th grade. But I was one out of two out of the entire 5th grade class. Only 2 people were not safety patrols. I was one of them who was not one of them. Not because of anything in particular. It was just because I was very impulsive, and I would fight somebody if they were just being a bully. I would just punch them in the face. I'll be real with you. If you're a bully, when I was a kid, I used to just punch people. I was not playing around.
Oh damn! If we
I
were
don't-
mad as a kid, if
I
we were
wasn't-
mad as kids, we would definitely punch each other. Then that's funny.
Well, like if you're like joking around with your friends, I don't care about that. It's when you're like, hey, I'm taking your stuff.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. And you know, but they're like, they're
Oh,
being a bully,
yeah.
dude. If you're being a bully, I'm gonna
That's
punch
true.
you in the face. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up and start being. You need to be nicer to people. That's my thing.
That's okay.
If you weren't a bully as a kid, you weren't getting punched.
Oh, that's funny because I had some bullies on my school once. Like, if there's only one bully, I'm just going against them, and like I'm giving them at least 1 or 2 punches. And after that, they're just leaving you alone. Like people, like I don't know how some people. I know that a whole class of bullies would be. It's completely terrible. But if it's just one bully, you can always defend yourself with that because they're just running away.
Yeah.
From in my cases, I had two. Like I think 2 or 3 of them. 2 or 3 bullies, which ended up really quick. It wasn't just like a long-term one that just bullying you. It was just like you said, that they just taunt you, make fun of you, and once you just defend yourself, they just completely stop. That's like the quickest way. That's very.
A lot of the times-
those are the easiest one.
A lot of the times here, where I'm from, if the bullies get clocked for being an idiot, they get punched. They'll start crying like, "Oh my god, they hit me!" And I would just tell them, I'm like, realistically, I hit them. I will own up to that. It is not the right answer, but
That's
this
true.
person has been bullying people for multiple days now. I've asked them to stop nicely. I brought it up to you guys before. You gave them don't do that. So I just punched him in the face. I said, you need to stop doing that. So the kid got in trouble, I got in trouble too. But it was worth it. Worth it. Never did it again. I'd say it's worth it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we have any other W's you guys want to share? For those in the audience, both here or in the YouTube stream, anyone got anything in particular here? Going once.
I need to make.
Going twice. So, I kind of want to yap a little bit. I'll be honest with you. I kind of do want to get to the yap section real quick here. We got a couple things to yap about. I'm really excited for what the direction VR chat is going in. It's kind of like stuff I'm going to talk about in a later episode as well when we get into season 3 especially. But a lot of the VR chat community events that are going on, we've been trying to dip our toes in the water in other places, and we're finding a decent level of success. We're actually going ahead and actually trying to talk to people. We're doing more, and I'm really excited to see where that goes. Mostly because it's not like, how do I say it? It's the fact that like people in other social games are more, team based. Everyone wants to help each other. Obviously, there are more people who are in it for themselves than there are people who aren't. But I like that. I like not the narcissistic. I don't like the narcissistic portion of that. But I like the level of like communication where people are willing to help each other out. And some of them conditionally want to help each other out, others unconditionally. And I like the fact that there are people that are unconditionally doing that. And I think that is what makes that game so powerful. It is why I've continued to play the game here. But yeah, it has been, to say the least here, a very fun time and a very, generally speaking, something I'm really glad that it's been going on. I'm really excited for some of the other VR chat events that are going on. Like, take for example, PJKT. That's one of the biggest one that's really on my mind in particular. I really am looking forward to seeing what comes out of that. I know Ferality is happening. We were going to apply. Honestly, I just forgot. Everything happened to me in the month of March, so I totally forgot to apply. Everything happened in late February too, so I totally forgot to apply. But I'm really excited for the future of VR chat and the direction that it's going, and more importantly, with the number of things that are going on. It's different. It's nice, and I'm really, really hoping to see it only continue to grow and flourish from here, because there aren't many games that I can say are actively flourishing and growing as VR chat is in the way that it is. I think that's so cool and so powerful, and I love that. I think that's the biggest thing that's on my mind. Today's episode's gonna probably end on time. I don't think there's a lot to talk about, but I think the biggest thing that I did want to talk about outside of that is the pace of Tower Unite. I did want to mention it. They promised that the development of that game would not slow down. They promised that the game's bugs and features would still get added. They know Tower Unite's not profitable, but they pledge to stay as active on that game, with development on that game, as they are with Elevator. And their words don't mean anything. I'm sorry to say that, but their words have continuously gone back on. They've gone back on their words multiple times. It's to a point where I just don't believe anything they tell me. They'll tell me a bug's fixed. I don't believe that. I'm not thinking, oh, good, the bug's fixed. I'm thinking, for how long? I just don't. And I understand they've said it. Oh, we have one programmer and one up and coming programmer, and I'm just like, okay, that sounds like. I'm gonna rant again. It sounds like a team issue, not a Steam issue, a team issue, like. And I feel, and they're never open to the conversation of, like, managing how their team is done. Thankfully, with their Elevator campaign getting funded higher than Tower Unite ever got funded for, we might be able to see more than when we ever could have seen out of both games. But I'm going to be realistic with you. I don't know what the sustainability of Elevator is. I am thinking it's going to be like, wow, this game's cool. And then they're not going to play it again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a one and done game.
It's a one and done game. There's no replayability. And there's probably not going to be any microtransactions or any sort of DLCs. So I'm just like, what's the point? I don't know, man.
I think the point is that they needed some sort of an income, like an income, to create something. Now, I think Max said like he wanted to make the game, but that I don't believe a word for it. First of all, he made with his old team, he made the game as a game mod in Garry's Mod, and after the team created Tower Unite, which is like a slightly bigger one. That's like so. There are other things like what kind of that certain things he created but making a game that he already did just to make like a $7-8 game.
Yeah, like
No,
I
it was. I don't know. I don't know how much. I think it was $13, and the DLC is like $7-8. That's how it was. I think.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Terra Knight's just underselling itself. Straight up, I think it's underselling itself. Instead of
It does.
instead of going the route of okay, no microtransactions, not working. No microtransactions is not working. No DLC's not working. We are constantly net negative. We need a way to make money. Okay, so we make a one and done game. Yippee! What happens when that money dries out?
Exactly.
Are they just gonna keep making other games? Which takes more time, more development resources, and takes away from the passion project? I don't have a good hope for that game because they are so stubborn on doing the one thing that would probably fix it. And I fully agree. Adding things like, take for example, the event tokens. Make them purchasable. I'll say it. Make the tokens purchasable. You're not gambling with them. Purchasable and non-sellable.
In order to make it work, though, they need to make the game fun and replayable. Let me give you an example. For example, we both played like after not long ago, but we played Overwatch, for example.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You just join in the match, play the match. That's it. It's the same thing as with SDNL. You join a match, play with it. That's it. But there's a difference, and the difference is one feels good, play the game, and the other doesn't. That is one of the biggest mistakes that they made. Like, I can't enjoy Virus because it's not just fast paced. It's fast paced in a narrow field. It's not fun. The zombies are way too fast. You either get immediately infected or you get just shot like way too fast. Then there's Accelerate. Accelerate doesn't feel like Mario Kart. It's way too wanky to even feel good. Like it doesn't need to be perfect, right?
Kart racer I've ever played. It is one of the worst kart racers I've played, and I've played a
drifting.
lot. Even Minecraft kart racing.
But even when I play alone, right? You create you play alone. You host your own match. Even then, it feels it doesn't feel good. Then there is SDNL. Doesn't feel good either. The weapons don't feel good. It's like like Call of Duty is a terrible game. Everyone knows it, but there's one thing that it does right. It's how it feels to use the guns. Like you see how great it feels to reload, to see how they shoot, how everything works. That doesn't do it. Doesn't do. They don't do that in Terra Knight. Then there is Zombie Massacre. Zombie Massacre is for me the most fun because it's not as bad as the other games, but still it doesn't control very well.
I think the problem with SDNL, don't get me wrong, some of those guns feel great to use, but the problem is the netcode is so terrible since it's only peer-to-peer using Steam's peer-to-peer and nothing else. That's why it feels awful. It just feels awful because their netcode is awful. If they had something like rollback, for example, that would make things probably feel a little better. But
yeah, but even with a good netcode, trying to play alone and go for the movement for a little while, you see that it doesn't feel right. There's something that is off of these games. Something that is missing. Like it tries to be so much, but it appeals to nobody. It tries so much that it appeals to nobody. Truly.
I don't even think the gameplay is the biggest problem. I mean, yeah, it's a very big lacking portion, but I think that they need to really showcase more of the community and, more importantly, the creative side of Tower Unite. And I think that in itself would probably do a whole lot more. Because, like I said,
What do you mean the creative side?
like like the condos. The condos is by far one of the best portions of Tower Unite because you could do so much and so little at the same time. You can make games, make stories. You can make events, concerts, talk shows, photo shoots, and so much more. Award shows. You could do so many things in the condos. The limit is really your imagination, and more importantly, when the game starts to break. But
and everyone says, even those who leave a negative review, everyone says that the condo building is the best. Like, they haven't failed that much. For us to criticize it, it's just like, it's not nitpicking, but there's also an issue with condo building as well, especially with co-op condo building, which I try to do. And it is still like, it doesn't feel better. The more they update, the less it feels better. Yeah. The firing, the condo IO isn't as good as it used to be. Like, there's so much more there's so much more that you can make mistakes and even crash your game. The placement sometimes don't make sense. Even for a long time, they haven't even changed a bit. The items like the canvas holes or the sphere or cylinder shaped items, if you do half to half, they're what's it called? They're unsymmetrical, and you can see that if you cut it out and you try to place it in, if you try to go, if you use the numbers for the gizmo, you can see that one of them put like at a I don't know what measure they're using. I'm just saying. I'm gonna assume it's just meters. It's one of them is 20 meters. The other is going to be 20.65 meters. Like one
the
corner
weird rounding errors that exist. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That bugs me so much.
That's been an issue and has been iterated so many times in this game's history. Honestly, I stopped focusing on it. It happens so often. I don't even know what to do about it anymore.
Exactly. And for someone who builds fast, or someone who uses like mathematics to build, to place those items perfect, it's an issue for me. It's a huge issue for me. For others, maybe don't. But for those who know a long time, that is like one of the issues. There's much more issues, or much bigger issues. And not only for kind of the system-wise, but also the community has like its own share of the issues.
Yeah.
I found it out.
Well, I feel if we go down the rabbit hole of the community, I'm sure we'll be here for at least another hour. So I think we'll put a pause on that one for now. But
yeah.
I think just so that way I can get some dinner and, more importantly, wrap things up, I think we're gonna call it from here. Folks, I do want to thank you for your continuous support. Big shout outs to our viewers that are always here. Dr. Fortuna, Deltona, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys for consistently showing up to multiple different shows here. At least live here. If you want to join over and check out the show live, you can always go over to discord.gg/the Tower Hub. Link will be in the description as well as in the YouTube profile. If you're already in the live Discord, well, welcome. You already know where to go because you're here as is. But in the meantime, thank you guys so much here. Again, don't forget to check out the Web Fishing Cat Plush giveaway. That, when is this? I think that giveaway will end on April 15th. We will draw a winner. So make sure you go over and enter for your chance to win international giveaway. No purchase necessary. International, as long as you're able to provide a address, you are fine. Mailing address, not a physical address. I don't need your physical address. Don't give it to me. The only other thing I've got in mind. Oh, and yes, PAX East. Do not forget, I'll be posting more about when we do meet. We're probably going to meet on Saturday, just to keep things easier and make it a little more just convenient here. Again, PAX East will start on Thursday the 26th and end on Sunday the 29th. Make sure you go get your tickets at PAX site or east.paxsite.com. Again, that's E as in Echo, A as in Alpha, S as in Sierra, T as in Tango, P as in Papa, A as in Alpha, X as in X-ray, S as in Sierra, I as in Igloo, T as in Tango, E as in Echo.com. You want to make sure you go get your tickets now before the prices go up even higher than what they already have within the last day here. I think they go up. I think the prices go up tomorrow, so get your tickets now before it's too late. Yeah, I think that's all I've got here. Abby, it's been a pleasure as always. To all you watching at home, thank you again for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Cheers!